Welcome to Kautilya. Today we will deal with the topic called governance as part of your screening test in Group 1. Okay, so all these topics of governance, public policy and e-governance, all these topics are interlinked to each other. So that is why we have to look into these topics in a holistic manner. Don't take a piecemeal approach. So when we begin with the topic, we have to first question to ourselves, what exactly is governance? Okay, why are we trying to know about this governance, and why has this topic specifically been included in the syllabus? As you are going to be the future public servants, this topic has been included with an intention that you will get to have some idea, some brief idea about the various processes of governance, various systems, various institutions that make up the government, and how the government functions, and how the governance process is existing in India. And this governance process has some kind of continuity at the central level, state level, as well as the district level and local body level. So though we have different kind of administrative systems in India, there is a kind of continuity, there is a kind of broad similarity between all these different kinds of administrative systems. So let us begin with the topic. Okay, what is governance is the question. Okay, and we will also look into how does the governance system manifest in India, and where are the various functions of government. Okay, and also the basic premise, the basic crux which we are trying to understand over here is, how is governance helpful in fulfilling the various values enshrined in the Constitution? You know that in our Indian polity, okay, we have come across what forms the basis of Indian polity and the Indian political, social, economic systems. It is the Constitution of India. So the Constitution of India is premised on some basic fundamental values. These basic fundamental values, which we call as the constitutional philosophy and the constitutional spirit, is what is sought to be realized by the government of India or the governments of various states, and also the paradigm called governance, which we call as. Okay, so we have to look into what are the major functions of governance. Okay, what are the various institutions of government, and also what are the various instruments through which governance is carried out in India. So in this process, we will first look into what are the core pillars of governance in India. When we are dealing with this topic, I have classified this topic, to make it simple for you, into 5 different subsections. That is the values of governance, the structures of government, and the various processes of government, and the various institutions which exist in India, which carry out the activity called governance in India. And also we will be looking into some issues related to governance. Okay, you have some brief issues like RTI, right to information, some NGOs which are participating in the, which are complementing the efforts of the government, okay, to carry out the developmental activity. See, you have to remember one thing. We are doing this, government exists, or the governance process is carried out to cater to the needs of the Indian people, okay, to enable the nation building process in India, and to carry out developmental activities. When I call developmental activity, don't just think about some economic activity or some projects being taken up. When we call about development, it is about socio-economic and political development which is holistic, and that is the responsibility of the government of the day. Political parties change in India after each election, but the government system, the various organs of the government exist permanently. Okay, so now let us look into the first pillar of governance, that is values. When we are talking about values and governance, we are usually looking into the concepts inscribed in the preamble. You must have come across the essence of preamble, what the preamble actually means as part of your Indian polity lectures. See, to put it in simple terms, preamble is the philosophy of the constitution. It is the basic ideals on which the Constitution of India is premised on. Okay, it is the preamble which gives you the spirit of the constitution. Constitution is a very huge document, a lengthy document which consists of various provisions, various articles and various safeguards for different kinds of sections. So, but the essence of constitution is known by this small document, small sub-document to the Constitution of India, that is the preamble. You must have already, you know what the preamble speaks of. It says that we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, secular, democratic republic. See, these terms have been put in the preamble not just for the heck of it. These terms have been included in the preamble because they have wide-ranging meanings. Okay, the meaning of each of the terms which are being displayed on your screen, that is the sovereignty, secularism, socialism, democracy, republic, justice, equality, and so on and so forth. These concepts are very important, and these are the very concepts on which the government in India is based on. The Indian polity is based on these basic concepts, and that is why I tell you, your whole system, your whole society is going to be based on these fundamental core principles which are enshrined in the preamble of Indian Constitution. So you know what is sovereignty. Sovereignty, you must have already come across this in your Indian polity lecture. It means that India is an independent nation. As an independent nation, that we got independence in the year 1947. So as an independent nation, India can exercise its free will. It's a free country. It's not a colonial country. When we were under the British government, India did not have individuality. Policies were formulated based on the needs of the British rulers. Okay, but now when we are an independent nation, we formulate policies for the development of our country, that is Indian nation. We are not going to do anything for the other countries. So that is why after we got independence, this concept of sovereignty, okay, this sovereignty enables India to exercise its free will within its boundaries as well as outside. That is, in international relations also, India has an independent voice. As an Indian nation, as an Indian country representing the millions of population which resides in India. That is about sovereignty. And then you have secularism. Secularism is also a fundamental, the core philosophy on which Indian constitution or Indian polity is based on. Because you know, in India you have diverse kind of religions, multiple religions like Hinduism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity, innumerous number of religions, okay, innumerous number of castes, diverse kinds of cultures, diverse ethnicities, okay, you have different kinds of tribes existing in India. So that is why our founding fathers of the Constitution included the principle of secularism as part of the preamble. So secularism in Indian context means that the government of India or the state governments, that is the government or the state that you call as, treats all the religions in a similar manner. The Indian state doesn't discriminate between religions, that is, people belonging to different kinds of religions, they are treated in a similar way. Okay, the state does not show bias, any kind of bias towards any kind of religion. So that is how secularism is very important. So that is why in the government also, suppose the government is implementing some public policy, or it is formulating some public policy, or it is formulating some government scheme. For example, now you have the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. It is to develop the irrigation potential in India. So when the government formulates this kind of scheme, you see, is it going to give it to only people belonging to a specific religion, like only Hindus can be beneficiaries of the scheme? No, right? The government is extending the scheme to all the farmers, okay, irrespective of their religion, caste, any kind of divisions. It is extending to all the farmers in India. So that is why how secularism is a very important paradigm in public policy making in India. Okay. In the same way, socialism. What is socialism? Socialism is to bring about social and economic equality in India. Okay. That is, this concept of socialism was included because, you know, in India there are a lot of disparities. There are disparities regarding caste, there are disparities regarding religion, there are disparities regarding economics. Okay, some people are poor, some people are rich, some people belong to the caste X, some people belong to the caste Y. Okay, some people have access to some resources, some people do not have access to these resources. So when the governance is carried out in accordance with the principle of socialism, what does the government do is it tries to minimize inequalities between different sections of the society. So once inequalities are minimized in the society, we will achieve an egalitarian and just society. Poverty will be minimized in India, and large sections of the people will be able to achieve real kind of development which is envisaged by the Constitution of India. And also democracy. You all know what is democracy. Democracy is, to put it in simple terms, is the governance by the will of the people. Democracy is the political system in which the sovereign power, the real power, is with the people, the citizens of the country. Why am I saying this? It is because Indian system, Indian democracy, you see, is based on elections, and Indian Constitution has guaranteed universal adult suffrage. That is, any person in India who has crossed the age of 18 years can vote, can exercise his power to vote in the elections. So in this election process, the people of India, the citizens of India, okay, they go and vote for the people whom they like, whom they wish that they govern this country. So that is how they are exercising their democratic rights and establishing India as a democracy. Okay, and then you have republic. What do you mean by a republic? In simple terms, republic means the government is established by the representatives elected by the people. The people are electing some representatives like the MPs, okay, MPs in the union level and MLAs in the state level. So after every general election, which usually is after 5 years in the normal course of time, the people vote for different political parties and select and elect their MPs and MLAs. These MPs and MLAs are representatives. Are representatives of the people. Okay, they represent the will of the people. So they are vested with the responsibility to work for the well-being of the people. Okay, they sit in the parliament, they sit in the state legislative assemblies, formulate policies, okay, devise various projects, devise various schemes, public policy schemes, through which governance in India can be carried out. And also by republic I mean that the head of the state, that is the President of India, is the head of the state. Okay, this you must have already come across in your polity. Okay, the head of the state is elected by the President of India. The head of the state, that is the President of India, is elected by the people. Okay, it is elected. You do not have hereditary head of the state. Like in Britain, you have the king. Okay, the king and the queen. How are they elected? No, they are not elected. It is coming through hereditary. From the past many generations, from decades ago, the people belonging to a certain royal family, they are being selected or being revered as the head of the state. You do not have an election for the king or queen. But India, the President of India is elected by the people. Okay, how the president is elected, what is the electoral college to elect the president, these things we have already dealt in our polity lectures. Okay, and then you have justice. Justice is to secure common good. Common good is for the good of all the people. Okay, good of all the citizens in India, rich, poor, alike, people belonging to different kinds of sections. So that is how justice is secure. And equality is also one of the basic premise and the basic value enshrined in the preamble. Okay, so now let us look into the structure. Why are we looking into the structure of the government? Okay, we have the government of India, we have a state government in your state, and also you have the divisional administration. Okay, state, this is the nation called India. Within India there are 29 states, so each state has its own state government, and there is also the highest government, that is the union government at the union level, and also at the state level you have the state governments. And also different states are divided into various kinds of subsections which are called as the divisions. Okay, these divisions have the divisional administration, and within the divisions in a state, like the state of Telangana or the state of Andhra Pradesh, within that particular state you have various kinds of districts, and each district has its own district administration. And after the district level you have the local administration, that is at the village level, at the urban local body level. For example, in Hyderabad you have the Hyderabad local body, that is the GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation. This is the local administration. Okay, so like that way in all the states you have these different kinds of sub levels of administration. Okay, so the structure, when we talk about the structure of government, we are looking into how the government is designed to function. Okay, only because there exists the structure, the government is able to function in an effective way. And why is the government structured in such a way? So that it is achieving the values, the values enshrined in the Constitution of India. Okay, that is to carry out social and economic development of the country. Okay, and also you see, from the central administration level to the local level you have different kinds of administrations in India. Okay, from top to bottom, bottom to top, you have these kinds of structures of government in India. And then now we will look into the process of government. What are the different kinds of processes through which governance is carried out? When we call about processes, we are looking into what are the instruments that are helpful for proper governance of this country. These various, in the processes you have personal administration processes, financial administration, and also control over administration, law and order administration. So through these processes, how is governance carried out in India is the concern for us. Okay, when we talk about personal administration, we look into the various kinds of people, that is the officers, the various kind of bureaucrats, okay, involved in carrying out the governance in the country. See, this is personal administration. You have senior civil servants, okay, the ministers, okay, the various kinds of government employees. All these people are part of the governance structures and they carry out the process of governance. So that is why personal administration is an important organ, important paradigm in the process of governance. And then there is financial administration. Okay, financial administration it deals with money, how the finances of the government, how the budget of the nation, okay, how the budget of the state is being taken care of, that is being dealt with the financial administration. Then you have control over administration. You have various kinds of controls over administration. You must have already come across in your polity lectures about the concept of separation of powers, the concept of checks and balances. Okay, so there are various kinds of control over the administration, such as the political control, okay, the legislative control, the executive control, the judicial control, the financial control, and also control by the citizens of the country. How the citizens are exercising control over administration? It is through the election process. It is through the various kinds of provisions, various kinds of laws, such as the Right to Information Act, okay, the Right to Public Service Delivery Act, and all these things, the Consumer Protection Act. So all these things enable people to exercise control over the executive. In the same way, the legislative, that is the parliament, or the state legislative, that is the state assemblies, exercise control over administration by formulating various kinds of laws, public policies, schemes, and the like. And also judiciary, whenever the government oversteps its jurisdiction, whenever the government is violating the principles enshrined in the Constitution of India, that time the judiciary steps in and cautions the government against violating the spirit of the Constitution. So that is how the control over administration is established. And then when we are talking about law and order administration, as you know, it is the police administration, the various central armed forces, to ensure public order, security, okay, in the country, okay. And then we will look into the various institutions of governance. We will look into the various institutions of governance. So, in the various institutions of governance which are necessary to carry out the good governance in India, when we call about good governance, it has some basic dimensions, such as to secure public good. Securing public good and ensuring socio-economic development is the core dimension in the paradigm of good governance. Okay, so what are the various institutions for achieving this good governance in India? You have various autonomous institutions, such as, okay, such as the Law Commission, the Delimitation Commission, okay. These are kind of autonomous institutions. They have an independent functioning, okay. They enable governance to be carried out in an effective manner, okay. That is few examples of the autonomous commissions in India, okay. And then you have some constitutional bodies. What are these constitutional bodies? These constitutional bodies have been established by the Constitution of India. That is, in the Constitution of India itself, there are provisions for the establishment of these bodies and institutions, okay. And also the various kinds of procedure to select